Welcome to episode number 136 of the BEBC
BS
Podcast.
136, that's incredible.
We both were like,
yeah, I had to make sure because I changed it earlier and I got to thinking, 150 will be next year during,
Oh my
or
gosh.
this year at some point.
Yeah.
150 of these. It's amazing.
I miss the jersey, thinking of old players and the numbers. So.
Yeah, we ran, when you got to 99 and then you got to 100, we were like,
Now what?
well, what do we do now? We didn't want to recycle, which we probably could
If you
have.
start letting them score 100, we could start.
No more of this. No more of this.
Man, that didn't take long. We haven't introduced him yet, and Dave has already taken shots.
Well, I said he. I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't say who.
Yeah.
We are honored today because I made an executive decision before the season started. We typically have the basketball coaches on right at the beginning of the season or before it starts, and then it's all hypotheticals. What's it going to be like? What's it going to be?
What do you think about the team?
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
And I was
who's your
like, you know
leaders?
what? I'm going to hold off this year. And I said, I don't know when I'm going to get them in here, but I said, I'm going to hold off, and we're going to do it where we can actually talk about what's been going on. So today we have Coach Cip, Coach Olchak, Coach McClure, all in the house.
and we don't have much to talk about today.
We appreciate it.
And I want Coach Blakely to know that he was invited,
He was.
and he chose not to come. And I think he's still hiding from us, so we'll talk to him about that Tuesday
We're
night.
in the driveway with the bus.
Yeah. We'll get Randy to do a picture of him driving the bus.
That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
Put a phone in his
Going off a jump or something,
Yeah. Holding his phone.
Yeah, jacked up,
Yeah.
Doing this.
Yeah.
Right,
So
with his
welcome,
foot on the
guys.
steering wheel.
Thank you. We're
Glad
excited
you're
to be
here again.
Glad to have him.
It's always fun to sit down and talk to you guys
Always.
because there's a lot, and we have a lot to talk about this
Yeah.
today. And you obviously had an off night last night, which kind of allowed us to do this today.
A bye.
A bye week.
Not an off night.
We were working.
Well, that was their choice
Yeah.
to work.
No, that was
They had a night
his
where they
choice.
didn't play.
His choice.
So I know where he went to see Duncanville. Where'd y'all go?
I went to Marcus.
Okay.
See Hebron at Marcus.
Yep.
Nice.
I went to see SGP play Arlington Bowie.
Okay.
The young guy, he got the furthest drive.
Yeah, they sent him to the
The
Russian
new
front.
kid on the block has to go the furthest.
Where'd you go?
South Grand Prairie.
Oh,
SGP.
I heard FGP. Sorry.
No. So that would be first round game that you probably went to.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yours is probably second.
Yeah.
And yours is state semi, right? Looky there.
Yep.
Got
Cross
it all
fingers.
covered.
Yeah.
We won't get ahead of ourselves there, but
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing about the overarching kind of summary of the team. Great team. I mean, it precedes the final result.
That's usually what we
but
do.
when
at
you-
the end
when
of
you-
the podcast.
Yeah, well, exactly. Listen up, Noel. Listen up. This is important. When you think about the team and all the great players we've got on there, when you look, I was just looking at the DFW stats in Dallas Morning News. We're not on there, except for one, and that's most points scored.
Yeah.
And that's the true mark of a balanced team, of a team where
Well,
you
that's
got
our
so many
podcast right
contributors. So I mean that should be a badge of honor. So
I
that's
appreciate
the way I think of it.
Yeah. Thank you.
77 points a game average.
Okay.
Could be 100.
so we are
I don't send in defensive stats. Sorry.
we are 24 games into the season.
Yeah.
You are 23-1. Did you think you were going to be 23-1?
I did not. I knew we had a chance to be really good and a chance to, win a whole lot of games.
Yep.
I figured with the gauntlet of the schedule, we would lose 2 to 3. To be honest with you, just going down to McDonald's and then the dynamic preps of the world and just whoever we were going to get in these showcases. But overly pleased to be where we're at, and even our loss was good for us because it taught us some things. So no, I'm happy where we're at.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. I was like, but that doesn't mean that you're satisfied.
Not
where you're
by
at.
any means. Yep.
And I know the other night, after and we'll get into a lot of different things, but after the Plano East game, I think I heard John say, as we were walking in the locker room, he goes, "It's just another game."
Yeah.
And really it was, although
One to us.
to a lot of people that
Right.
was very special and very unique. But in
Quite
the grand
fun,
scheme of
too.
things,
Yeah.
Well, to give credit, that was a couple of our players. Like when we were walking off, like some of the younger guys, newer to varsity, were real excited. We all were excited, but some of our seniors were like, "Hey guys, this was just another game. This wasn't our Super Bowl."
Yeah.
So the best part of that game, though, was watching their coaches sit down and just give up. They did. They sat on the bench and didn't get up. And
Boy, they didn't jaw jack like they did last time we played them, huh? At us.
They just sat there. It was great.
There's so many avenues we can go here, but I want to start with the kids themselves. I'd asked you to bring some, and I've learned they've all doing things today.
Yeah,
the bye week.
They got an off week finally.
3-day weekend.
I'm going to track a few of them down and get them out here yet. I got some questions.
Please do.
We know Pear's mom pretty good.
We can do that. But just the team itself, the depth that you have is just incredible. And it's really fun from a fan perspective to sit back and watch. But as coaches, I mean, your motto is team over everything, and I think, at least from my perspective, watching that, I think everybody's buying into that.
Oh, big time.
This is probably my best group that I've had to buy into that concept, and I think every team I've had has really bought into the team first and put the team above all. But from just a role standpoint and just understanding of what it really takes to win, I think this group really understands the day-to-day of how to show up and how to really play the game in a way that makes us our best version of ourselves. And just hats off to them, because that's not a fun way to always play, and that's not a glamorous way to always play, but it's the right way to play. Yeah. And for kids to be able to do that, it just says a lot about their character. So.
What's fun that I've seen is that when one kid gets hot or a couple of the kids get hot, the rest of the team keeps feeding them and feeding them. Because they keep feeding them because they got the hot hand, and it is so fun to watch these kids work within themselves, and they're always dapping each other after a good pass, to score and so forth. And it's just been a true blast to sit and watch these kids play.
Well, I appreciate that, and that is something we try to work on every single day and try to teach our kids every day, and we try to reward those things. And one of my favorite plays going back to the East game was Trent. Trent was absolutely unbelievable that game, and he hit a ton of shots. But my favorite play, and I showed the team this last week, my favorite play of the whole season, he's hit like 4 in a row, gets a wide open 3, and I told him I would have shot it. If I hit 4 in a row, I'm letting it go. Right. I don't care where I'm at. But instead of shooting it, he moved it one more to Antoine, who ended up hitting the shot. So just them being able to do that, is a special place for me, but I think that's what makes it special as well.
It's interesting you say that, because outside of the tournament, I think David and I have probably been to every single game this year, and it's been one of the things we've done. Because a lot of times we're like, why didn't you shoot that? But because you see the extra pass, and you see that unselfishness of.
Sometimes you see the extra pass, and you're like, why didn't you shoot that?
We do. We question that. We're like, well, dude, why not? But there is a lot of that going on. Yeah. And it usually works out well. I mean, sometimes you're like.
The most what's awesome about it is the most bickering that I've probably heard between kids is when they get on to one of them, like, why didn't you shoot that?
And our big thing that we try to protect every day is give up a good shot for a great shot.
Yeah,
right.
And we chart that in games, and we really take pride in trying to do that at an elite level. And the guys have bought into it, so it's been fun to see.
I think the coolest. At halftime, whatever, we give all these numbers, like the offensive rebounds, we allowed this, and it's all, this past couple of games, we kept track of how many, we call them hero passes, like give an open shot for an even better shot, and we just kept track of it. And because the last few games, we were kind of just missing those opportunities, and when we said the number, they all started clapping, and it was like the coolest moment of and everybody got excited, and I think that's the buy-in. True value of the TO, and also our one loss. I think last year our team, after a loss, there was a lot of bickering after and trying to complaining. After our one loss, it wasn't like that at all. It was angry we lost, but it was all right. We're back to it. It's on all of us. I thought that
maturity.
Was the biggest thing we learned.
So. Yeah, and keep in mind all the seniors on the team. were incoming freshmen when he took over. So it's like, you know,
been
it's
here.
all
Yep.
like that's all they've known.
Yeah, and I was hoping Trent was going to be here. I don't know. I kind of feel like Trent is a Cam Rising of Allen basketball. You know, Cam Rising is about to play his 8th year of college ball. You know, it just feel like Trent has been here forever. You know, because he started playing as a freshman, and it's just like. And I was wondering too. And y'all may know the answer to this. I don't know who's played the most games ever in Allen Eagle history in high school, but he's probably, you know, Neo may break his record. I don't know, but he's probably. I mean, if you start as a freshman, you played a lot of games.
You have, yeah.
You know,
I would love to see that.
So that's whoever has all that history. I don't know where that's kept, but he could be one of them. But the whole team, you know, and what we love to, and again, because we get to see y'all every week, and other teams don't, and they're like, man, it's 3 minutes into the game and he's rushing in 3 subs. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't realize what you're getting with the 3 subs that are coming in, you know, and it's the intensity level. And I've told these guys this. It reminds me, speaking of Arkansas, of the Nolan Richardson Arkansas team.
Yep.
You know, and he called it 40 minutes of hell.
Yep.
And that's pretty much, even when you all get into the fourth quarter and you start getting further down the bench, those guys are getting after it.
Yeah.
Now, the other day they kept foul.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
That last 3 minutes sure did go a long time.
Like, where you at? I'm like, this game's taking forever. You know?
Yeah.
But typically it's not like that. It's high intensity basketball for 4 quarters, and it doesn't matter who's out there.
Yeah.
And that's great to see that because we talk about it too. And I it's like, if you don't play that way, you're not going to be on that team.
Right. No, and our practices, because we have so much depth, are so competitive.
Yeah.
And I think that's where our players have really, like, their skill level and their competitiveness has grown in 4 years so much because of the guys they have to go against every day. And I truly do feel like every day in practice is like a tryout opportunity for every kid on the team. So they're getting to go against, you know, like DMR and Neo, and those guys are getting to go against high-level guys every single day. So that's one going to raise down, but then in return raise us, you know, as a team. So I feel like, you know, they just know how to play because they're playing with those guys a lot.
Yeah.
So,
And then
have most of these kids played together for a long time?
Since the junior high level.
Junior high?
Yes,
Most
it's not.
of them are from Ford.
Yeah, a lot of our guys are from Ford, but not since like
Trent,
second and
Neo.
third grade, nothing of that nature. But you know, from junior high on, pretty much all of them have been here and played
Twins.
together. So
And they all play on club teams?
they
also?
do. So 4 of our guys played on the same club team. So the twins, Namdi and Khalil, for a majority of their high school career, have played on the same AAU team. Trent was with them for a short stint, but DJ and Trent kind of went to do their own thing, which isn't bad. We don't frown upon that. You know, we just wherever you can play and get recruited at, we want you to be at. But I think it does say something for the chemistry and the tightness of our group to have played together.
Yeah, and some of them, you know, they'll talk to other players, the other team after the game, so they've played together on club teams, I'm sure. Okay.
And that's the thing nowadays. They play so many games,
Yeah.
and there's so many opportunities in the summer. Like everybody knows everyone.
Yeah.
Like every like when we're given a scouting report, like they can really tell us if this kid can shoot or not. Like we don't have to study a ton of film, even though we do.
That's great.
But it's neat to hear some of their insights on, you know, like the big kid from Lake Ridge. He's teammates with Isaiah Dozier on their AAU team.
Oh, is he really?
So Isaiah.
Oh, yeah, those two, they were
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
a lot after the game.
So
Yeah.
Isaiah was telling us, you know, he has a tendency to always go right, and he can't shoot over his left shoulder.
wow.
So it's neat to have some of those
That
insights.
is great.
Yeah,
Got your own
Well,
scouting
that's
report.
that's wonderful basketball IQ.
it is.
I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So it's,
And your TOE, team over everything, that whole mentality and the talent that you've got from a team perspective, if somebody goes down, if Neo kind of goes down, hurts his ankle, whatever, and he's out, there's not that breakdown, or there's not that
Right.
fall down like, oh my God, now what are we going to do? I'd never see that when I see the team play, and
it's really cool.
what an advantage.
It's really cool too. So you know, on past teams, when a guy has gotten hurt, you know, the team really feels bogged down or sad for that, and we are sad that players hurt. But like here, it's
No,
like
you're
he's still he's still playing, or you know that they don't
some
they
Sam
don't worry
on it
about
and
it
get
at
back
all.
together.
So it's neat to see. So
That's cool.
Well, unfortunately, you haven't had the injury
Yeah,
bug.
that's
and let's
the
hope you
bug
don't,
is
because
not
you
hitting
never
y'all.
want that for any kid. You know, it doesn't matter. There you go. The wood's over there. You find it. But yeah, it's fun to see, and it's been a blast this year. And it started, at Cowtown Classic. David and I were over there for that, and the hype was big because it was Allen versus Keller, and there's a spoon. Where'd that spoon go? Did you stick that there?
Pay no attention to the spoon in the helmet.
There's a spoon stuck in my helmet. I was like, where'd that come from?
I did notice that when I came
I got very distracted. Sorry about that. But it's Allen, who was 1 or 2 at the time, and Keller, I think, was 7, and it was, what's this going to be? And you get out there and you're like, okay, this ought to be interesting. And then you score 30 in the first quarter, and you're up by 20, and you're like, what the heck happened here? And you end up scoring 104 that night.
Yeah.
And Dave and I walk away going, oh my gosh, what just happened? Now, it's the first game of the year, so you wonder, okay, is Allen really that good, or is Keller not as good, or was it just one of those nights, or what happened? But that kind of, I don't know how that was in the locker room after that game and what the talk was, but we walked away going, wow, what's this?
Yeah. And I thought, we were, as a coaching staff, we're like, wow, okay, we straight dominated. And,
yeah.
We did. We were like,
and
40-something turnover.
Yeah, we created 46 turnovers, something I've never heard of.
Yeah.
I kind of looked at the coaching staff and was like, all right, you could just tell this group is on a different level of knowing how to play and the intensity to do it for 32 minutes. I said this should be a fun year. So
How about that opposite end of the spectrum from 2008 when the team played and stalled against Geyer.
Yeah.
And it didn't score more than 20-something points, 30 points the whole game. It's just like day and night now.
Do what you have to do.
Well, it's amazing to me that the athleticism that this team has and their ability to get a hand in there and not draw the foul, knock the ball away, and steal it and take it all the way down without
Those 5-foot arms.
It's just Neo is. It's so much fun to watch because some guy will come right by him, doesn't even see him because he's way up here and Neo's down here. Neo's like, I'll take that, thank you, and just he's heading down the other way, and that's so. I just laugh every time a big guy's dribbling the ball by Neo because he's going to steal it, and he does. He'll steal it and be gone with it.
You'll hear us say a bunch of times, like when Neo gets matched up on the ball handler, we're like, hey, don't even go. Don't double.
Right.
He's good. He's good. We're good.
Just speaking of I'm just going to use the word domination, but just this year, you've got 23 wins. I went through a little while ago, and you've got 2 wins by more than 40 points, 2 wins by more than 30. You got 8 wins at 20 points or more. You got 5 wins by 10 or more, and you've got 1 between 5 and 10, and then you've only got 4 games in which you were less than 5-point victories. And you can probably name every one of those, can't you? Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have the 1 loss, which was an overtime loss to the number 1 team in the state. So you look at that and go,
and that's still to be determined.
Well, they're really good.
I know.
Yeah. They've got a stud on their team. Yeah.
We'll see.
But you look at that and you go, because when my son doesn't get to come to games, first quarter, I send him the score. I'm like, same song, 100th verse. It's 25-10. The amount of, and I didn't get that deep into the numbers, but the amount of single-digit quarters that y'all put on people, especially in the first quarter, was amazing this year.
Yeah, no, it's a hat off to us being able to start with the right mindset of executing and trying to dominate every possession and just really locking into what we're trying to do.
Yep.
Sometimes we do veer away from that the longer into the game and the bigger the league gets, but once again, they're 15, 16-year-old kids, so sometimes we understand that for a little bit. But that's something we try to protect. But I think we've had a fair share of close games, and obviously, some games where we won by quite a bit.
Yep.
And then even when it starts out a little bit more competitive, like the Plano East game, you're up by 3 points at halftime?
Yes.
And it's like a totally different second half, completely different.
That was probably our best half of basketball we've played all year.
By far.
Yeah.
By far. That was, there wasn't.
And that's why I was glad WFA was, broadcasting it.
Yeah.
And Mike was, they couldn't say
he was
enough
floored.
good stuff.
He was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we spent a good deal of time with him after the game. He's a good, he's not a good friend. He's a friend of ours, and he will talk to us. You know, a lot of people won't, but
as opposed to some
will.
other.
Yeah, but he will. And I said, well, what'd you think? And he goes, I'm just blown away. You know, and then he was like, it's never ending. You know, the relentless pressure. He goes, it was unreal what y'all were able to do this team. And I was like, it's been
Every
this way all
game.
year.
They do it every game.
You know, it did. I think I wasn't as surprised as what y'all were doing. I was more surprised in how they fell apart.
Yeah.
In my mind, you know, or they weren't able to, and it may be because y'all weren't letting them and doing that, but just it was unreal. It was just like didn't see it coming, especially with a 3 or 5 point lead, whatever it was at halftime. You didn't see that explosion coming.
Yeah.
Because when the landslide started, those guys had nothing.
We always say every team has a breaking point in our pressure. Eventually, hopefully, our goal is to at some point that break, you know, through. And so far,
Well, it's like David said.
Okay.
It's like y'all got to that point in that one game against Plano East, and then they just quit. The coaches quit, and they just
You may not know this, but they just sat on the bench the rest of the game.
didn't
get up
They
once.
didn't call timeouts.
They didn't call timeout.
ready to go home.
Didn't yell at his players. Just like there's nothing my team can do against this team.
When it goes to the depth and the buying of the
Yeah.
non-starters or whatnot, because they can simulate it in practice. So like you can't. That's even the sub-varsities, because we play the same way. You can't simulate it in practice. So you can be prepared for traps or the pressure, but you can't simulate it for as long as we can do it and with the number of guys. So it's our superpower.
Yeah. Well, and I think because I had you send me the stats from the Plano East game, because I was like, of the season there was 26 turnovers, 19 steals.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
holy moly.
And how many of those occurred in the second half versus the first half?
It was
Well, I
just
think
like-
Trent actually just took the ball out of one of the players' hands and went the other way.
Yanked it away. It's
great.
fun to be able to go back and watch that. That was
Well,
fun to do.
and speaking of stats, so you talked about charting some stuff. You're talking about compiling stats. Is there anything automated, or is everything manual that you guys have to do, like huddle for football? And
So we have Synergy and Huddle, so they'll give us stats after the game.
Okay.
But we do have coaches that keep how many gold shots, silver shots, bronze shots we take,
Right.
our assists to turnovers, just so we have it live fed.
Sure.
But then we'll go back and full stat it after. So
that's super helpful.
it is, yeah.
Before we move off individual games, I do want to talk about the Prosper game, because just the unreal nature of what went on there. And I know for people who haven't seen it, like we were at a football banquet Thursday night, and there were a lot of people who, we need to come to a basketball game. I was like, guys, y'all are missing out. I said, you're not going to believe what you see when you get there. I said, this is special. Prosper came in, they were 17-3, something like that, or something close to that, and they were ranked.
Not a scrub type of
Again,
record.
and I want to say this because there's a whole lot of difference between you're 23-1 and say Plano West is 20-3. They're just in the schedule that you play, and then so there's a lot of difference there. But Prosper came in, everybody's like, it's going to be a good end of the first quarter. It's 20-0. I've never seen a high school team not score a point in a quarter, and I was just like,
Wow.
what happened here? So what did happen there?
I actually looked up after the first quarter. I didn't realize it was 20-0. I do. I look up and it's 50 to something at half. I was
50-7 at halftime.
Because if you remember, nobody scored for like the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Neither team.
Yeah, their team.
I almost felt like I blacked out because I was so mad we weren't scoring. And then I just knew like the pace was finally getting to what we needed it to be, but we couldn't finish and we were a little sloppy offensively. But when I looked up, I knew they were getting decent shots.
Right.
But I was like, man, they just can't buy a bucket. And, partial credits are defense and, the relentless nature of trying to make them play at that pace. I do think if teams haven't practiced or if players haven't practiced at a certain speed, it's hard to make layups going full speed, and it's hard to make passes going full speed. So I think certain teams, it puts a strain on their offense, especially teams that want to slow you down, to have to play that speed. And, we try to always make people play our pace, and we were able to do that and have some success with it.
Most of them can't.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's going to take a hell of a team to slow you guys down for more than a quarter or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was just phenomenal. I mean, you obviously slowed it down in the second half, or something happened there. I mean,
He did one of these.
Oh yeah, he did that at halftime.
Everybody plays.
When you're up by 43 at halftime, you gotta.
Yeah, you don't want stories being written about you and
Well-
people complaining and oh my god.
No,
Bullies.
Once or twice, maybe. Come on.
but there's just been so much of that. As you look at the games that you've played this year, it was tight against Plano West for a while over at West, and all of a sudden, there's big explosion. I mean, Neo had a phenomenal first quarter, in that game. He couldn't miss, and then kind of slowed down, but then it's just also you look up and you're up by 25, and you end up winning by, 30, almost 30 points there, and you're like, good grief, people. This team will just lull you to sleep, and you look up and you're like, and it was funny because when y'all played in your tournament, when the Lake Ridge coach came on the court, we were talking to, because that's our job, to talk.
Distraction. Deception.
I'll never forget Manning telling us, he goes, y'all need to be talking to the officials and saying the things that we want to say that we can't say, and so we take that to heart. But we were talking to him, and I was like, man, we got a tough one tonight. He goes, we got a tough one tonight. So
Yeah.
they knew. I mean, they walked in knowing that it was going to be, and we talked about it before we started here. You were up by 19. I don't know if it was in the fourth quarter, but at least in the third quarter on those guys.
It was third.
And they slowly chipped away, and you ended up winning by 8. But it was. I think it's kind of good for y'all to be challenged like that a little
It
bit
is.
in a close game.
No, we need
by a
it.
good team.
Yeah, 100%.
And they were a very good
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. Well, and even like last Saturday's game at Plano, there's a couple of games I look at and go, gosh, guys. The McKinney-Boyd game was turnover city.
It was.
And it's just like, okay,
Playing with food.
this isn't what we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on? What's going on? The Plano game, I don't know how many layups just did not go in.
No,
Yeah.
we missed it.
It's like Saran Wrap was on that
Yeah.
goal.
And then 3-pointers. I mean, at the Plano East game, there were a lot of 3-pointers that were just kind of
in and out,
slightly
in and
off,
out.
in and out. Yeah, and the same thing with the Plano.
It's the rim there.
And you still win by, I don't know, what was it, that final there, 15 or
lot.
20 points. It was comfortable, but you look at the game and you go, okay, that just wasn't
Right.
what we're typically
It's not
seeing.
always a clean feeling after the game.
And our guys know it too. Our
Yeah.
guys,
They feel it.
you can tell when they're like not satisfied. Like the Plano East game, they were like after the second half they were satisfied, but like the Plano game, you can tell we're like we just. So that's the good thing about our guys too. But I think the biggest thing you talk about, like third quarter is close, and then it like just it'll start off heavy and then it starts shrinking. Like our depth, I've talked about, like if I was a high school player and I had to play against somebody like Antoine, like I would be terrified, just because he's just nonstop. Like him and his brother, like both just nonstop want the ball, and then finally they get subbed out. And you're like, all right, but then you got to go against Khalil, who's just the same exact player, and then you're like, all right, he gets subbed out. Then you got to go against Namdi, who's just going to jump over you whenever he wants. Like it's
Shoot it from anywhere on
and
the
you
court.
got 10 guys plus more. Like then you got a sophomore who can jump out of the roof. It's just that's what I think. It's so like there's never a time where a team could like just sit back and relax, right? And Brennan, same. They were up, I think 21 at some point. But it's just our debt. It's just being able to just keep going at the same pace, right? So,
Which is where I think you guys have a very big advantage over just about every, especially in this district.
Yeah.
The depth you have compared to every other team in this district, it's going to make it very tough.
Yeah, I agree.
Very tough for them to. Like you got Princeton Tuesday night. You scored 97 on Princeton the first time around. It was one of these games again too. But you look at that and go, okay. And I'm going to ask you this question because it may seem generic, but your big job to me now is keeping these guys motivated.
Right.
Because it could be very simple. Just
Princeton's won 2 in a row.
there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it is too. So, for example, like after the Boyd game, and there was 2 or 3 games where we just weren't taking care of the ball. We were being sloppy. We changed our things that we track and the things that we grade after games. We changed it to turnovers. Hey, after And something as simple as, hey, after every game or after the game tomorrow, however many turnovers we have, we're going to start practice by running. And one thing you would think this team likes to run because of how much running we do, but if there's not a basketball involved, they don't like to run.
Yeah.
So the next 2 or 3 games,
I'm with them on that. But
yeah, I agree. So
I just hate running, period.
So we were up in the 15, 16, 17 turnover range, and we want to be closer to 10.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do with our pace, but still there's some things to clean up. But all of a sudden, our guys started talking about in the first quarter, they want to know how many turnovers we have. And now
they're asking, like, hey, how many turnovers is that?
And now they're, hey, take care of the ball, no lobs. So now they have a conscious effort in the back of their head. So we're just trying to find ways to sharpen up whatever we need to sharpen, get better in different areas we need to get better at, and then just change our game goals to those. So those are
kind of like the hero passes that G was talking about.
Yeah. We gave up more offensive rebounds to McKinney than we have anybody else all year. So now when the JV came in and scrimmaged us all this week, every offensive rebound we gave up, stop practice. You ran. And we gave up like 2 the whole day. And we just had a conscious effort of not giving up offensive rebounds. So those are little things that you just got to, sometimes when you emphasize this drops a little bit, so now you're coming over here trying to spin this plate and try to keep this one rolling. So that's kind of the fun part, but the stressful part as well.
Well, and that's where the work that you guys do and doing all that tracking and helping them be better, your consistency helps them to be more consistent, which is a fantastic team dynamic.
Well, because the talent's there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question the talent is there.
Right. It's all motivation, all psychology.
It's keeping gelling the talent and making sure the talent achieves what y'all are trying to achieve.
Right.
You know, because it's hard to do sometimes. You know, especially like you said, you're dealing with teenagers, and that's even if they were adults. You know, you look at the NBA. You know, like the Mavericks beating the Thunder last night. You know, who thought that was happening?
Who would have thought that?
OKC fan.
Oh, is this?
Sorry,
man.
Where are we going with this?
It was just a good example, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't expecting that to happen, and it does. So, one of the I looked a minute ago, and we talked. James, he led off with he looked at the stats, and you don't see anything. Just you know, and I did a quick thing. The last 10 games, you've had 6 different leading scorers, and it's one of the cool things. That's cool. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And I can tell you. Antoine 3, Antonio 2, Trent 3, Namdi 1, Neo 1, and then DJ and Antoine actually tied in one game. They both had 15. But yeah, so
that's so cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Awesome.
That's probably the one stat we don't really
track.
Like is back there is like the points per game.
Yeah.
Like I think you saw us that one game afterwards when we were trying to figure out. We were like, hey, how many who when we were trying to talk about it post game, we had no idea.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things we started doing this year. Thanks for letting us do it. Is we pick a player of the game, and sometimes that's 2 or 3 guys, just depending on how things go. Okay, we don't base it totally on points. I mean, some nights, like Plano East night, Trent was just. Cody sent me a thing and said, Trent is laying the pain from Plano East. I'm like, dude, Skip Bayless just walked in the house. Yeah. But the other night, like Antoine, he had 21 at half. And then y'all dialed him back. And I turned to his mom and at halftime I said, he's got 21. She goes, I said, yeah. She didn't even know he had 21.
No, he was.
But there's times but you don't know who that's going to be.
Right.
There was a stretch where Namdi was he couldn't miss a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
And then like during the Plano East and that's like 3 games in a row it was Trent that was dressed. And like the last couple games, Antoine, so you never know. And it puts other teams in, okay.
And the cool thing is, everybody on that team is happy for that player.
No, they are. They truly are.
Well, and they're all capable of doing that.
Absolutely. They all know it, too.
Yeah.
Any one of them could be that guy.
As Antonio said, I mean, he could go for 50 one night or somebody else could.
You see that in the locker room after the game, and they get their awards or whatever, and they're all just piling on each other.
Yeah, like the other day, for the Plano game, we gave it to Austin.
Yeah.
And as everybody was so thrilled about it, I was like, whoa, but everybody was thrilled that Austin got that. And those guys that are further down the depth chart, I'd love to be able to get to that point with those guys. And, he was, Neo got dinged up a little bit, and I don't know if that's why Austin played more, but he played more, and he had a great game. And you're like,
played really well.
Give him some credit, and it was just
be
neat
ready.
to see everybody
Always
else,
be ready.
Yeah.
Be happy for him. So it's really cool.
I think Coach Blakely did a stat the other day on our social media where it was like our top leading 8 scorers are like 15, 14, 14, 12, 12, 9, 8. Like, it was really cool to see the balance of, and once again, that just goes back into our whole philosophy and how well balanced we're trying to be and how versatile we're trying to be as a team. So,
and you are. I mean, it's and that's why you're averaging 77 points a game. You know, because you've got 8 guys that'll at any night can throw in double digits for you, and they're all contributing whenever they get out there in many different ways. You know, we gave Dozier, I think, the first game of the year that we did that to McKinney. In McKinney. Which, golly, that gym.
It's a different place.
Oh my gosh.
All the McKinney, even Boyd's gym. We were like,
It's a little different.
I don't know what's going on there.
There's something, that and the crown jewel, whatever they call that football stadium.
Crown stool. Whatever we call
Or
it.
gyms, or just.
Okay, I want to. All right, you play what, 9 district games now? Yeah, 9.
We're over halfway.
Yeah, McKinney was started the second. So
Right.
you've got 8 left. Got to go to Prosper a couple times to play Rock Hill and Prosper. This week you've got Princeton, and you've got
Away.
West at home, right?
Yep.
And that'll be fun. And then who's after that?
I
West.
think, is East Tuesday?
East on Tuesday,
East
and then
and Boyd.
Boyd on Friday night.
And then Prosper
And I'm going to
all the
mention
same
that
week.
game because that is Wipeout Kid Cancer Night. And that's the thing y'all
Oh,
been.
that come on.
Yeah, Chris.
Plano East game?
No, the McKinney
The
Boyd
Boyd,
game.
the
Yeah,
Friday
on
one.
Friday night.
Yeah.
And he wanted to make sure we were going to be there. So
Yeah.
Be there.
But
with
that's
balls
really
on.
cool what y'all are doing with your charitable organizations. You know, that's really a neat thing. I don't know who thought of it
Yeah.
or who implemented that. But that's pretty cool.
Coach Blakely actually, when he spent some time with the Legends, and they had a theme night for every game. So we just created 10 causes for our 10 home games, and wanted to recognize
That's cool.
just different organizations and just make people aware of those. And like I said, Coach Blakely's hit that up and ran with it, and
That's awesome.
It's such a great idea, and just once again, it's more than basketball to us. You know, we're really trying to give back and trying to make an impact on the community, and trying to get our kids to understand that it's bigger than basketball as well. And that's just one of the many ways we're trying to do it. So
This morning I did something on the video board with a big QR code that people can scan and donate to the organization.
That's cool.
Awesome.
That's pretty neat. I mean, it's not everybody will do that. So I saw that beginning of the year. I was like, that's a pretty cool thing to do. So Chris is excited about it. So just so you know,
Awesome.
he's well of it because he texted me about it. So cool. All right, I have one other topic I really want to talk about. I've been sitting on this for weeks. And I don't mean this. It's not. No, y'all are gonna enjoy talking about it because it's curious to us, and I want to get y'all's thoughts on it, everybody's thoughts, because all of y'all deal with this, and that's referees. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because
They're not going to say Pete, by the way.
They will, because the way I'm going to word this, it isn't going to be positive or negative. It's going to be, y'all know beforehand who your referees are going to be, right?
yes,
Yeah. So do you coach your kids or have discussions with your kids based upon who the referees are? Because we've noticed a lot, and I'm going
They
to
have their tendencies.
and I'm going to throw this question. We'll get back to referees. I want to this one we need to answer. When you're on the ground, what is traveling anymore?
Oh,
no, it's different for every ref. It should be
Okay.
rolling in place,
exactly.
right?
Not just
But
laying down and
laying down on the ball.
you grab the ball and fall down. That's not traveling.
Should be you're gaining movement advantage with the ball without
Position
dribbling.
advantage. Yeah.
Because was it Tuesday night?
Yes.
Trent had a rebound, went to the ground, and he didn't move.
He didn't
was
move.
sitting.
He called and he blew him for
And I think y'all
traveling.
tried to call timeout, and he called him for traveling. And I was like, all he did was fall down, and he didn't move.
Yeah, same spot.
But if you go back, and where I really noticed it was in the tournament. The in and out
Yeah.
tournament. There was a lot of rolling, and they never called it.
And
then
at the
we-
very end of the Lake Ridge game, twice.
Yes, we got hit with one.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Where'd
I
that
just
come
want to
from?
understand.
Yeah.
Well, number one, where'd it come from? Because it's the same situation. I forget who it was. Didn't move. He just had to literally hit the ground with the ball, and immediately the whistle goes up for traveling. And we're like going, "What the heck? Where'd that come from?"
So what is it? I don't know what. I really don't know what that rule is.
Yeah.
Like you say, gaining an advantage, but if you don't move,
Yeah, it should just be you're still with the ball.
So there are three other outcomes. If you don't call it traveling, you either the guy on the floor with the ball passes it off,
Right.
Calls timeout.
tie ball,
Yeah, jump ball, yeah.
possession, or he rolls around and gets the call. I mean,
I just don't know. It's
Yeah.
to me, it's
Different
very
from
inconsistent.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all will agree with that or not.
It's almost like a charge call. We call those 50-50 calls.
Yeah.
You just one ref's gonna see it one way, another ref's gonna see it another.
Yeah, some of those.
Same with verticality.
I think
That's
this
what
one, I
upsets
think
me
this
more
one's
than
more.
anything.
I think those are really more judgment calls than the travel thing because it's.
No, it is. It should be black and white.
Yeah.
Travel. Yeah, it is or it's not.
I just don't know because
you ever get the feeling that the refs are trying to even up the game in some ways?
That's a whole other rabbit
I
hole.
feel
we
bad
can
for
go
this
down.
That's
team.
something
Okay, we're
that
gonna
we
call
could
them for
possibly
travel.
comment on.
Yeah, y'all don't have to say a word about that. But.
So going back to it, my original question is: do y'all talk to your kids about okay? Here's who's here tonight. Here's what you can expect. No.
Yeah, there will be one or two refs I will mention to some of my more expressive players, per se, that, hey, tonight's not the night to ask a lot of questions to the refs.
Okay.
This guy's more sensitive about questions.
Oh, yeah, we know who that is.
that
I didn't say
dude.
it. Let me address the questions if we have questions. And some refs they'll know, hey, they'll talk to our players really well, and they'll elaborate. So from that standpoint, yes. Early on in the game, like, we get a feel for, hey, they're really calling hands-on. Like, we have to adjust. We have to show hands better. So as a group, hey, it's going to be a tight game. You don't need to be in foul trouble. You don't need to be putting them on the line in the first 3 minutes of a quarter. So let's adjust to that. But as far as, like, hey, this ref calls a bunch of fouls, sometimes it's just they go with the flow.
Tic-tac, yeah.
So
Yeah,
you don't
and you-
really hit that as much.
Yeah, like you said, the big thing is like you get because even good refs who don't emphasize something, will have a game where maybe they're off or something, but you just adjust to it from that point, but that's one thing I picked up from him is like if you're worried about them, then you're not coaching your team, and it's taken away from them, and then the kids will get caught up in it because you won't. There hasn't been, I think, really any point this year where the kids get just overly caught up in the officiating. Maybe a certain call, they'd be like, what? But then they move on, and that speaks to, I think, just kind of what SIP does, and kind of because it's easy something's not going your way to just start blaming them, and I think
That's our job.
The Steel game, it was a pretty physical game, and one of the refs, that's called a bunch of our games. I just said something to him when he was coming over about a timeout. I was like, "Hey, will you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got you." He's like, "We're trying to call this like a NCAA game, and kind of that with the physicality, and so we were able to adjust to that, and know, hey, they're going to be pushing on you, DJ in the post and stuff. So it's just feeling out how they're calling it, and then controlling what you can control from there."
A lot of times refs will always, if you ask them, I know during one of our games, DJ was just getting mauled, right? But he kept trying to flop and show it, and I asked the ref about it. He said, man, if he just lets it happen, I'm gonna call it. But if he's just gonna fly around, he's a bigger dude, he's got to let it happen, and I'll call it. So I tell DJ, hey, if you just stand there, they're gonna call it. And then he's like, so it's more about like Coach said, just feeling the vibe, asking a question, and then adjusting from there. I don't think you want to change how, especially the way our players play, and they're so aggressive, before the game, change the way they play and make them feel subconscious. It's those little things that I think that are easy adjustments, right, for DJ, that you be like, all right, I'll just let it happen and see what happens. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Did he see a positive
feedback
from that?
He got a few
That's
calls
good.
from
That's
him.
good.
That's usually refs, if you ask them nicely, they'll tell you what they're looking for, and if it's right or wrong, whatever it is, all right, we got to adjust.
And I've been in no offense to the East Texas chapter, but I was in the East Texas chapter. North Texas is like the NBA compared to the quality and professionalism of. Because I used to think every ref in East Texas went to Mount Pleasant. So when we used to play them. Not really, but
We can talk about professionalism. As you know, I've mentioned some things that have happened to us from refs.
I feel better, like you
Yeah.
get more quality from what we used to do.
Well,
I
I
really
think
like our
sometimes
job.
with it, I know what you're talking about. Like, it almost makes it look that particular one or something so bad because the other ones like are good, kind of. So like, there's not a lot of them that'll stick out like that and put on a show like that. So when you have one that does, it's just
It sticks out.
It sticks out way more.
It has.
And again, y'all are down there and y'all in the middle of it, but like I'm going to use the McKinney game for example because there was a ref the other night that should have gone on a date with the McKinney coach. He spent so much time with him, and I'm just like, stop. You
need to ref
giving
the
him
game.
all that time.
Yeah.
And
they ended up
that
arguing.
one is also
He was
that one
giving
was
it to
very
him, though,
particular.
a lot of the time, though.
He was
Yeah, but he didn't need
nitpicking.
to. He
Right. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, you
But
could
that
just
McKinney
stop.
coach was also the one. He was
Well, he whines a
instigating.
lot. Yeah, but that's.
He did whine.
But he
whine
would
a lot.
if you wouldn't pay. It's kind of like your kids. If you
Yeah, oh,
ignore
yeah.
them,
Well, and that goes to like what we said,
Yeah.
like just don't focus on them, then
Yeah.
your kids won't.
Yeah.
And
yeah. But it was just amazing. I was like, God, enough. Just quit giving him so much time.
He started getting onto him though. That
He
ref's
did.
like,
He did.
Sit down.
But it's
Let
interesting
me-
to watch the dynamic because like you don't get mad that often, but when something gets you, stomper. You're not as bad as Coach Watson because we always got on him for stomping on our floor.
That's better.
But
Them fancy dress shoes he wear.
Yeah, flip floppers.
that's your coach, man. You gotta be careful.
I know we love Wes. Sorry he left.
I hate
Yeah,
it.
bro. That's what
Well, I
I'm
know,
saying.
but we can't see him because it's the
Yeah.
same night. Well,
Yeah.
if you want us to skip
No,
your games,
no,
we'll go.
no.
We'll go right down the
You
road.
could have gone yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have gone last night. Damn gummit. I should have.
Where's he at?
Lovejoy.
Oh, that's right.
So
Something cool today. So our head of our chapter, he was at the Frisco gyms, like supervising some young refs, and Boston was playing this morning. So he came up and talked to me, and we were talking about it. And I was like, I'm just trying to be easy to work with. And he said, no. He said, like, you're one of the best to work with that we've had. He said, we like it so much because when you really do get mad, we know we missed a call because you don't get mad all the time. So
That's so
they
effective.
So
Oh my God.
that's what.
That's
Yeah.
probably the best way of being. You hope you keep your
Yeah.
like that. So they understand that you're not a coach that's going to get mad just to get mad.
Right.
It's legit. You missed something. So
well, it's
that's
not
good.
that you don't have any discussions with them
Right.
because you do talk to
Yeah,
them.
I do. Yeah.
Well, and they respect you as well too.
It's how you present it. And
Exactly.
The questions you ask and try
You
to
know,
see it from a.
We feel that we present our case every once in a while pretty well.
Y'all do. I hear
Oh my
sometimes.
gosh.
I wish I heard it more, but zone.
We try to. There's a line. You got to be okay because some of them don't take it well.
Right.
And some of them, like Larry, we can say anything we want to Larry.
He
Larry
loves
doesn't matter.
us.
Yeah.
We love
Ron-
him.
Ron's great.
Yeah,
Ron,
Ron.
those guys.
That was the first time we saw him in a while this season, wasn't it?
He was there for the tournament.
Was he there for? Yeah, he was there for the
See,
tournament.
some of the because he was the one that was talking to me about the college style and a lot of those guys like he couldn't work the or whatever the last day of the tournament was because he was working college games.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotcha.
So-
yeah.
Yeah,
Some of
very
them, we try to be friendly to them, and just say, hey, listen, it's never personal.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be, but it's amazing what was it there was a call, was it Tuesday night, that everybody just went bonkers on. It was against us. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or the week before, but
DJ got a couple of touch fouls, I thought.
Yeah, it was what's his
well,
name?
and then he got grabbed from behind and yanked.
no call.
And the official who was spending too much time on the McKinney coach was looking right at him. I was like,
Yep.
dude,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that's-
right in your line of sight because you were right in front of me and I could see that. You're not. So, again, I would hate to referee basketball. To me,
It is
that's
actually really hard.
It's really hard.
refereeing
Especially
period.
with us around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I did
Had
for
to
a
go.
season
You're
when I was
for-
25. I
Yeah.
did like 9U, 10U baseball, trying to make some extra money.
Oh God.
oh, baseball?
Never again. It was first year of kid pitch.
Oh, jeez.
I was like,
You were
nope.
that that short umpire that was behind that tall catcher.
Yeah. Who turned around.
Yeah, that was a classic moment. But well, the season is over, half over. You're rolling through district. You're doing great. Kids are having fun. Everybody's healthy. We appreciate y'all coming out today, and we look forward to
blast to go to those games.
The remaining 8 district games, and then as the playoffs roll, it's
I only got 7 though.
7?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Bad.
And for those of y'all that haven't been, y'all
Thank
need
you for
to get out
correcting
there.
me.
Yeah, you got to go.
Yeah,
If-
yeah.
And we're starting. You can see there's more and more crowd coming, showing up.
Have you noticed?
I have.
Yeah. Do y'all notice? I mean, the Plano East crowd,
That was phenomenal.
wasn't that awesome?
They gave me chill bumps before the game. Yeah.
When I walked in, I got there right before half
Yeah.
coming from the sub-varsity games, and I was like, I mean, there was just people standing all over, and I think we've gotten some good crowds recently at home, but I think also it'll always kind of seem like it's not because of the size of our gym.
Right.
Well, let me ask you. I'm going to ask you this question too, because I don't know the answer to it, and this isn't to be critical. It's just, where are the students at?
So we got told last year, my wife tells me this too sometimes, that we're not very fun to watch. Sometimes it's boring because we get up 20 to...
Huh.
Like McKinney, they all left at halftime,
So a lot of them, they'll want to come out to big games. They don't want to see blowouts.
Yeah.
I get it, I guess. I don't know.
I
think
every game day is some of my students will ask me like, "Hey, is it gonna be close tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah. Like it'll be close." Like, and some games like I'm
It'll
just
be close to the
it'll be
first 5
close.
minutes,
And then like the McKinney game, we just played really well, and I specifically saw that kid leave at halftime, and the next day I saw him, and he was like, "Coach, like."
Well, who's missing here, and I'm actually going to talk to Wig about this. I meant to the other night. Is where are the football players at?
Yeah,
Because
football. I haven't seen
They
football
used to
yet.
drive a lot of the crowd. It seems to me if all the football guys show up, their girlfriends show up, and
If
they
it
bring
becomes
their
the
girlfriends.
in thing to do, they're going to show up.
Yeah.
So.
But it's noticeable. But I'm glad that the community has found. There's something going on.
And the kid nights, the middle school nights and all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's
that
been
helps
fun
too.
having those kids out there. Yeah.
They did a good job. Our middle school, they were getting rowdy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah.
But I think
Bang,
the
bang,
stream helped some too, also because people publicize it on Facebook and stuff, and then so living in Allen for so long and graduated, there were I saw people on my feed who were like saw that game and they're like, wow, like we got to go check them out in person, and then I started seeing some of them, showing up, people I hadn't seen since high school and stuff, like showing up in the stands. And
Nice.
6th grade baseball coach was there the other night with his wife, like sitting right behind our bench. I was like, I told them, and they're like, "Are you for real?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's him." Like,
Wow.
so
That's cool. It is, and it's fun. I mean, we have a blast, obviously, and it's high entertainment, and it's fun to watch those kids.
It's fun being around some of the moms, the players' moms.
You can only imagine.
Yeah,
Animated, vocal. Yeah. Just,
at least none of them are questioning the 5 you have on the floor this
No.
year.
Oh,
That was fun.
That was really funny.
That was the most
yeah,
awkward.
bring up old stuff.
oh.
Yeah,
Well,
What the heck is this lineup?
what? We're really saying that right now.
pretty loud.
20-0 run.
And it's loud. It was
Yeah, real quiet after that though.
Yeah. We're literally on a 12-0 run. I was like, lady, we're killing it right now. Okay. Sorry, Cole Dalton.
Well, and I've told Sip this. I was like, I questioned it too, but I didn't say it out loud.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
God knows what he's doing.
yeah, maybe we need to start passing notes
hope.
down.
Yeah, I hope. So, that's been fun. We appreciate you guys. All y'all support
Oh, yeah.
is
The boys, they
Means a
love
lot,
when
yeah.
we all come out there and especially started coming into the locker room afterwards and stuff, and they're
They
hey, make room,
Yeah. That's appreciate you again. Appreciate y'all letting us do
thank y'all
that.
for wanting to do it. That's
Like you
huge.
say, we want to show them that we're paying attention, that we see what they're doing, and we appreciate their efforts. And a magnet's not a big deal, but I think
oh no, it is
Well,
because
The recognition.
when you left the other day, Trent was putting on, and he thought like he misplaced the one from East or something. He's like, "What? No!" And he thought someone took it or he misplaced it. And he was like, "Wait, what did I do?" I was like, he had put it on the board in there. And I was like, "You took it off when you left?" He was like, "Hold on." Oh no! I got them all. I got them all. Right but
that's good. And because we started that with the football team this year, and we go in after the games and just stick them on, and the guys, they're hard to catch after the game.
Yeah.
They're scatterwords, But they come back and they'd be like, oh,
Hey,
you know,
yeah.
That's cool.
Lee said it was a big deal, you know, if you got a bald eagle magnet on your, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was.
We'll get better at it. The other thing I wanted to mention before we kind of wrap things up is your press conference activities.
Yeah, we
Love
want
doing
to
that.
ask questions.
This
Please come in there. Y'all are welcome.
Okay.
Back to the-
Friday.
Well, we need to do it.
We're
Come
going
on
to do
in.
that.
The
In the-
other, the
We'll be
opposite
there.
side of the locker room.
Okay.
So just walk right through. Please
All right.
do. Yeah. We would love it. Please come
Is
in.
it-
Mark
We-
Capucci
we go-
from Balding Eagle Booster Club.
Yeah.
We go from in.
What were you
Sit there
thinking?
with his cat.
Please do.
They're from the BEBC Podcast.
Please do. Ask
What was
whatever
your
you
thought
want.
process of
So
calling that
when
game?
y'all leave after that, like, because we're done talking too, and like whoever's getting interviewed, they just walk right through that hallway where those bathrooms are right there to
Okay.
the other side.
All right.
And that's where it
That'd
happens.
be good for the kids.
We'll have to do that one
time.
Answer.
Well, and I like that you guys are doing that because it trains them on public speaking. If they go to the next level, which is highly likely,
Yep.
they're going to know what to do.
They will.
It's not going to be
That's
strange
another,
to them.
likely idea, coming from
There you
the
go.
college and from
Yeah.
the, legends and stuff. And that was specifically why he wanted to start. He threw it out there last year, was getting them to be able to talk, and not,
Ready.
And they
I
really
thought the
had
channel.
that.
I thought the boys did great during the Channel 5 interview. And so
They did. I was so proud of their
they
answers.
did real well on that.
We talked.
They
Trent
really
had
did.
an article written, like he
Yeah.
got interviewed,
Welch
and
did
I
one.
sent it, and I was like, immediately like, dude, Trent killed this. Like,
Yeah. 4 years ago, that was when I
everybody-
have been Trent answered.
Yeah.
everybody-
About a week
Yeah.
and a half ago.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Welch
really
is
good.
But no,
in
we'd
the
love to do that.
All-American.
That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
please do.
Because we
Anytime.
have questions and
Yeah, we would love
we
it.
have comments.
Yeah.
We can ask about
Please.
a certain play.
Get
Like,
some chairs out there for you.
Antonio's dunk the other night. Oh my
Oh
god.
my goodness!
I did. I was
I
like,
didn't realize he's like.
Yeah, that he stared him down afterwards.
Well, and Cam Christian was coming that game, and he was
Well,
running
he was
late.
trying not to step on it.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing.
And he went a
But
little bit slow.
I was
going
like, "Hey,
over it,
did
but-
you wind up getting in? Like, I'm already down, from my game." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I got here after Twin murdered that dude."
I had to hear about it from Boston the next day. Boston kept saying, "Hey, that kid has been disrespected. Like, he's no longer allowed in our gym because he got dunked on." I was like, "Boston, you can't claim that." Like, it's like when Twin stepped over, I was like, "Boston, yeah, you're not gonna dunk on anyone."
That's where the momentum was taken that way.
Yeah, but that you always because they've got something to say
They
about
do.
that because that place went bonkers.
Yeah.
with
Oh,
them,
that was-
and I turned around and look at Dad, and Dad was standing up. And he was,
Yeah,
That's he cracks me up.
yeah,
That's
they're
fun.
great people.
yeah, and that's just there's lots of things like that happen during a
Right.
game. And you're just like, did you see that?
We were worried about trying to
Yeah,
get off the
keep
floor,
them back.
man. Like, get back
Yeah.
on the back.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty impressive.
That was.
It was.
I did not see it coming. Certain things happen. I'm like, oh wow, that was cool.
Breakaway, yeah, but like
Yeah.
all those people, like,
Yeah,
Okay.
you didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
So, well, again, thank you guys.
Yeah,
We
thank y'all so
appreciate
much.
you,
Thank y'all for having
and
us.
we look forward to as the season rolls on. We'll keep talking here. We get closer to the playoffs. We might do this again, just a shorter one or whatever.
let us
Say
know.
hello.
Please. Yeah.
Thanks for coming out.
Oh, always.
You're
Thanks for
always
not being
welcome.
afraid.
Yeah.
No.
Break 'em in.
No fear. No fear.
Yeah, you got to break them in. You get. I always tell people when you come out here, if you want to be on a podcast, that's fine. You just got to speak. So
Yeah.
thanks for speaking.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure you
no
don't like-
trivia.
You want to play trivia?
Y'all
It's
did
right
it the
there.
last time I was here.
All right. Oh, you weren't here, were you?
Yeah, I was in Lubbock with Mikey.
I think I won, right?
All right.
Last time?
Did you win?
It was
I think
you
I won.
or, Manning. I'm not sure
Yeah.
which.
I think I won.
All right.
Yeah, Manning's not here. We'll say you
Y'all want
won.
basketball, right?
Yep.
Gotta have that.
No, give him tiddlywinks.
Really?
See.
Dude,
All right.
women's soccer.
Let me see here. Tip off. That would be basketball, wouldn't it?
And this is like 1987 version?
That's when I was
Yeah,
born.
these are old. This is not.
These are really old.
Yes!
I
So we're
found
going way
this trivia challenge
Sorry, G.
at an
Yeah.
antique
Boys got it.
store
Yeah.
like 100 years ago.
That's so cool.
So
87,
it is
that's
old.
when you were born.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I know.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh my
I might not
God.
be able to answer.
hey, it's my last day saying I'm 42.
You fixing to have a birthday?
Tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Yep.
Yay.
I just have to.
43.
I'm shuffling these up because I don't know what we asked last
You want to
time.
feel old? He was born in January of 02. Michael, my son, was
All right.
December of 02.
Who wants to go first?
I'll let you just read them out loud.
Or just whoever
Yeah.
beats. Gotta be
Raise your
good.
hand.
Yeah, don't
Let's not bath.
Don't beat the table. 'cause the
Raise your
mic-
hand.
On the podcast,
We'll pick who answers. Yeah.
it's like playing a drum.
Yeah, I sit there and do my fingers like they.
All right, y'all just go. Just say your name or whatever, and so y'all help me listen to who goes first. All right? You can't see the back. Right? All right. This is the 100-point question. So here we go. The 1994 World Championships. Were you even born in '94?
Not even close.
World champion.
Rick Fox. Everyone knows who Rick Fox is,
Fox.
right? Played for what country? Nigeria, Yugoslavia, the Dominican Republic, or Canada?
Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Dominican.
Canada.
Yeah.
That's Canadian?
Yeah.
Boom!
That's not a real question. That's a
That's not a real
entertainment.
question.
It's an actor.
Okay.
That's one of my worst hated players of all time. By the
Oh
way.
gosh,
Rick
this
Fox.
one's going to be hard because I don't know what year
Canadian,
this
I thought he was
is. So
Dominican.
y'all are going to have to think.
Okay.
Bill Carmody and Tommy, what's his name? Amaker
Yeah.
Amateur?
are head coaches in what conference? Now, this is years ago.
Big Ten.
Very good. It was the Big
Okay.
Ten. Look at John.
Okay.
That was a 200-point question. See, they get harder.
Okay.
I got it.
It's all
Big
relative.
Ten.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Here's your daily double.
That's not Amaker. I didn't know the other guy.
For
All in.
300.
Who did he coach? Amaker.
He's
Indiana?
right now.
Really?
Back-
No, back then.
Okay, 300-point question. Bobby Knight was 24 when he was named head coach at what school?
Air
Army.
Force. Oh, it was Army. Air Force.
It was Army.
I knew it was a military.
It may have been a little before your time.
Like all these old
It was.
questions.
It was.
The young guy here is like, what in the heck are y'all talking about?
I'm just learning.
No, he's just hearing blah 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 blah.
All right, 2002 NCAA Division I Men's Championship. What state was represented by the most colleges? Whew, this is thread. You want the answers?
I know who.
Here's your option:
I
New
think
York, Utah, North Carolina, or Indiana.
New York. I don't know. That's a quick guess.
Indiana.
I can
I
tell
was
you
gonna
who
say
won
Indiana
it.
before.
Indiana.
I think it's Indiana.
It's North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Sorry.
Damn.
Oh my gosh! In December 2001,
Maryland
this is
won
for
it.
500 points. Bill Cartwright was named head coach of what NBA team?
The Lakers, right? No? Is it the Bulls?
It is the Bulls.
yeah.
Oh, it was the
There we
Lakers.
go.
You are disqualified for entering on the second try.
See, these are a little harder because of the result. Fact or fiction? The NBA franchise known as the Braves was based out of Vancouver.
Fact or fiction, G?
Say it again. Repeat that.
The NBA franchise known as the Braves was based out of Vancouver. Fact or fiction?
Fact?
I would say fiction.
Fiction.
Fiction. It was
Where were
the
they?
Vancouver was Grizzlies.
Oh, they're Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
yeah.
Yeah, what am I doing?
In December 2000. Oh my gosh! Who became the first Warriors player to have back-to-back 50-point games since Rick Barry in 1967?
Baron Davis?
2000.
No.
Larry Hughes,
It's not Barry.
Antoine Jameson, Mookie Blaylock, or Chris Mullen?
It's not
It's
Mullen.
Antoine
Mullen,
Jameson.
that's after.
It's not Mullen.
That'd be Antoine.
Is it
Jameson.
It's got to be Antoine.
It was Antoine
Yeah.
Jameson. Very good. Did he play at Carolina?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh boy. Mike Krzyzewski was hired as head coach at Duke after a losing season as head coach at what college?
Army.
They're another Army one.
Yeah, Army.
He was Knight's assistant, wasn't he? And then took over when
Did he
Knight
play
left?
for Knight, or was he Knight's assistant?
I think he
Thought
played
he
for
was
Knights.
Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe he did play for Knight.
U.S. Senator Herb Kohl, Kohl, was the owner of what NBA team? Spurs, Jazz, Wolves, or Bucks?
Herb Cole.
Sounds like he had owned the Jazz.
I would say Bucks.
Yeah.
Bucks is correct.
Let's go.
Yes.
I
Okay.
knew they had
These
a-
guys. After leaving the Knicks, Ernie Grunfeld became the Ernie
know that.
Grunfeld.
Oh,
Tennessee, baby.
These are hard.
Became the GM of
loser
what
gets a pie in
NBA
the face.
team?
Grunfeld.
What are the options?
Bucks, Pistons, Kings, or Hawks?
Is that the Kings? Grunfeld.
Pistons.
Bucks.
Bucks. Yeah.
Fact or fiction? In 2001, Michael Jordan became the first New Jersey schoolboy star to earn a college degree after skipping college entirely to play in the NBA.
You said Michael
False.
Jordan?
Yes.
Like Michael B. Jordan?
That's what that one's easy.
Yeah.
Cavs forward Carlos Boozer is a native of what state?
It's
Carolina, North Carolina, Montana, Alaska, or Arkansas?
His kids go to Florida.
Ooh, yeah. Arkansas?
I want to say it's Arkansas.
Arkansas.
They put
Alaska.
is it?
Yeah.
I thought they put that in there to throw it off with Trajan Langdon.
Oh, this is a good question. What former Georgetown star was NBA's Defensive Player of the Year for 88 and 89?
Ewing.
Excuse me. 98, 99, and 99 and 2000.
Allen Iverson?
Patrick Ewing. No,
Patrick
but-
Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, Allen Iverson, or Dikembe Mutombo?
What were the years again?
98, 99, and 99,
It's not AI.
2000.
It's not AI.
Yeah, no.
It's got to be,
It has to be.
98, 99.
well,
Morning. Had to be morning, yeah.
Mourning is correct.
Yeah.
Coached by Al Skinner, what Big East team completed the first to worst turnaround in league history in the 2000-2001 season? Al Skinner. Boston College, Notre Dame, Georgetown, or Pittsburgh?
Boston College.
Very good.
Sounded right.
Yeah.
Wow.
What one-time ABA most valuable player was both the player and head coach for the 76ers NBA title team?
Dr. J? No.
Dr. J, Billy Cunningham, Gene Shue, or Larry Brown?
It has to be Larry Brown.
I think that's that throw you off.
No, I'm picking Larry Brown. He won multiple at different.
Was he an ABA MVP?
Maybe.
Dr. J.
NBA.
Dr. J.
Yeah, I got to go Jay.
Billy Cunningham.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Who was the first head coach in NBA history to coach against his playing son in league play? Oh, wow, that's good.
Dunleavy.
Very good.
Wow. That's a 200 point.
That is. That's a
Wow.
bonus.
Who has more career block shots than any player in LSU history?
Shaq.
Shaq is correct.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Sick.
Who was the 5-time runner-up to Michael Jordan for the NBA regular season points per game scoring title?
Karl Malone.
Malone.
You're correct.
Yeah.
God, y'all are
I got
warming up.
I got a little more recent one for you. Blake Griffin.
Okay.
Which Kardashian did he date for
Oh,
a little bit in 2017? Oh, you'll know this if you watch him.
Well, it wasn't
Blake?
Kim.
No.
She was married.
Chloe's dated a lot.
Chloe's
of
dated
NBA.
a lot of
I
them.
wasn't. I guess Kylie? Kardashian?
Yeah.
Robert.
I didn't know he did.
Kendall. It's a gender,
Kendall.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Kendall. Yeah. And so here's the bonus question. What team was he playing for in 2017?
Detroit.
No.
No.
Celtics.
No.
No.
That
He
was
played
the,
with the Celtics for a minute.
oh, no, he was still with the
Clippers?
Clippers.
Clippers.
Yeah, he was still with them.
Do I have a car behind me?
Good job.
Got a couple cars behind you. Got to go?
Yeah, I got to go.
All right, we'll do two more here. What former St. John's star has led both the NCAA and the NBA in regular season assists?
St. John's?
Yep. Reggie Carter, Chris Mullen, Felipe Lopez. Oh, man, he was good.
Against Chris Mullen.
And Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Nick
And last but
Rutherford.
not least, Kareem Rush. You remember him?
I
Yeah.
do, lefty.
Had a standout college career at what Big 12 school?
Kansas.
No, there was Brendan Rush.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
All right. Go back to.
no
Hang
last
on, we're not done
question.
yet.
I know. Okay.
Yeah, an answer.
Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, or Colorado?
Missouri.
Missouri, yeah.
Very good. Missouri.
That's so fun.
They're so hard. You get that old. I mean, these are old. I'm going to get a new game before
That'd
we
be
come, all
fun.
right?
Yeah.
We'll get it updated.
Yeah.
So,
I got one for Christmas. No one will play with me, so.
aww.
We got time for a quick picture.
Yeah, real
Yes.
quick. All right. No one can take it. Just got to go. Thanks, guys, again.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, everybody,
Well,
for
here,
listening.
if you let me set up, I can remote take it with my
Okay,
with
that's
my
fine.
stick here.
Remember, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock at Princeton. Friday night at home against Plano West. Come out and see these guys play. Thanks again, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jay, set it up.
Oh,
Where's the spoon?
Yeah, where is the spoon?
Took everything I had. Yeah. Hitler.
I'm
Oh, we're good. I guess.
you gotta get in the picture.
Just move the chair.
trigger it. I just need to be in the video. We'll just do this.
I got it.
Oh, that's so cool.
At the golf tournament.
Is it real?
It's real.
Did you hear about that? It was like the
Oh, yeah.
shop in McKinney
Oh, my
that
No,
got busted for having all sorts of fake.
They were faking it. Yeah, y'all set up, and I'll jump in behind Sip. So y'all just give me enough room to get in behind. You got to squeeze together. Squeeze
Then we
together.
don't have enough room to get
Here you
behind.
go. No, I'll be behind Sip. Just make sure I got enough room there.
I want to ask you a question for you.
Oh, that's perfect.
Don't you touch my nipples.
Oh, hello.
We do that.
Are we still live or?
You banned, right?
Ready? We're going to hold still here.
See, I got an 8x10 frame over there. It needs a picture. So here
Yeah,
we go.
needs a picture. All right, everybody ready?
Ready.
Big smiles.
I saw it click.
Yep. All right.
All right.
I think we got a good one.
No one asked a question the other night.
I did. Which one? I asked a lot.
Since we're a sponsor, and again, we don't want to offend anybody, is there any way we can put a banner up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't see why not, but I don't make those.
I thought you
Like
always-
Opposite of the
Just
eagle
the-
head. So the eagle head's over there, and we're
Yeah.
right underneath the.
That turned out good.
That's so good.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll
Yeah.
share it.
Yeah, I'll definitely ask.
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh hell, we'll get one of those. We'll get like
Say World Crowd sponsor or whatever.
What?
Just ask.
Mark, we'll get the newest version like that. We'll get it backlit and put it up there.
Oh, God.
That would be awesome.
Dude,
Oh, my Lord.
Bad who's not here has got a buddy who owns a
That
machine.
thing is heavy.
A CNC.
Oh my God, that thing weighs a ton.
We had pulleys and everything trying to get that thing on the wall.
That'd be awesome.
If it ever falls,
Oh,
They going back up.
It ain't going back up.
it'll break everything in here.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah,
Good.
thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah. Let us know.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming out.
Coaching third grade girls game.
You?
Yeah.
You stalking them again?
My niece.
I thought that was Blakely's gig.
I'd rather do that than.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Texas and Florida.
Texas.
This will be a
Trey
good one.
Johnson's been.
Yeah, he's been
off,
killing
man.
it. He's pretty good at basketball.
I don't know why they can't win down there.
He'll make some money.
The
Yeah,
little guard thinks it's all about him.
See, I was going to give these shoes away to somebody who came today. They're Team USA shoes. They have never been worn. Who signed them? Nobody signed them. It was one of the players. They had a golf tournament. I won the round. But they were Team USA shoes by one of the Team USA players. Somebody.
13.
Yeah. I don't know who the
A bunch of our guys are right around there.
There you go. Tell them to shoot. Wait for them. Thanks, guys.